Men, there's a difference between a woman who wants to build a life with you and a woman who wants you to fund her life. One sees you as partner, the other sees you as ATM with emotional benefits. And the worst part, the second type is skilled at disguising financial exploitation as romance, affection, and love. She doesn't explicitly demand money. She creates situations where you voluntarily provide it while believing you're being a generous partner. Today, we're exposing 7 signs she's not dating you for a relationship. She's dating your wallet to fund her lifestyle. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and hit the hype by dropping a comment if you've ever realized you were funding someone's lifestyle rather than building a partnership. Your experience might save another man from the same exploitation. Sign 1. Her interest correlates directly with your financial status. This pattern exposes transactional attraction. Her affection rises and falls with your spending. When money flows, she's affectionate, attentive, and available. When it slows, she grows distant. The relationship's temperature matches your wallet, not your worth. It works because money provides leverage and illusion. She uses generosity as a behavioral switch. Reward spending with affection. Withdraw it when you stop. You mistake the reaction for love, but it's conditioned response. Payment equals connection. You'll see it in her curiosity about your finances, her sudden warmth after expensive gestures, her indifference when you offer time or effort instead of cash. Her attention isn't tied to your character, humor, or emotional depth, only to what you provide materially. She measures affection in purchases, gifts, dinners, vacations. Emotional support or presence don't count. If generosity pauses, affection pauses too. She may justify it as stress, being busy, or needing space, but the timing always traces back to money. The psychology is simple: reinforcement by transaction. She conditions you to equate spending with love and withholding with rejection. You start buying peace, affection, and validation instead of earning them through connection. The long-term result is emotional depletion and financial fatigue. You're not in a relationship, you're funding one. Genuine partners stay consistent through financial highs and lows. Transactional ones vanish the moment the payments stop. Sign 2. She has vague or non-existent career plans, but clear lifestyle expectations. This sign involves her having expensive lifestyle expectations and material demands, but no concrete plans for how she'll contribute to achieving that lifestyle herself. She knows exactly what she wants: designer clothes, luxury vacations, upscale dining, expensive beauty treatments. But her own career is vague, unstable, or deprioritized. The implication is clear: you're expected to fund the lifestyle she desires, but won't work to fund herself. Notice the disparity between her lifestyle expectations and her career ambition. Does she want expensive lifestyle while pursuing no serious career development? Does she express desire for luxury while showing no initiative to increase her own earning potential? This disconnect reveals expectation that someone else, specifically you, will fund her desired lifestyle. Pay attention to how she talks about work and career. Does she have concrete career goals and plans for advancement? Or is work something she tolerates minimally while focusing on enjoying life? Does she prioritize leisure, appearance, and social life over career development? If she's not building her own financial foundation, she's planning to build her lifestyle on yours. Watch whether she reduces work or quits jobs once the relationship is established. Did she work full-time when you met but gradually reduced hours after you started supporting her? Did she leave her job citing stress, dissatisfaction, or desire to figure out what she really wants while you pick up financial slack? This pattern reveals she was working out of necessity that you've now eliminated. Listen to how she frames work and money. Does she view working as something people only do because they have to, not something valuable or fulfilling? Does she express envy of women who don't have to work? Does she make comments about finding a partner who can provide comfortable lifestyle? These attitudes reveal her goal is being financially supported, not being financially independent. Notice whether she has financial goals she's working toward independently. Is she saving for anything, investing in her future, building emergency fund, paying down debt, or is all her income, if she has any, spent on lifestyle consumption while she expects you to handle all serious financial responsibilities? Check whether she encourages your career advancement while neglecting her own. Does she support you working harder, longer hours, pursuing promotions, essentially maximizing your earning potential to benefit her lifestyle, while showing no equivalent ambition for herself? This asymmetry reveals she sees you as provider and herself as beneficiary. Watch how she responds to suggestions that she increase her income to fund lifestyle desires. If you suggest she could work more, pursue advancement, or develop skills to earn more money for things she wants, does she become defensive? Does she suggest you should earn more instead? Does she frame your suggestion as unsupportive? Resistance to self-sufficiency reveals dependency is her goal, not unfortunate circumstance. Listen to whether she takes any responsibility for shared financial goals or positions everything as your responsibility. In discussions about future, vacations, or major purchases, does she frame these as things you'll provide? Or does she discuss how you'll both work towards shared goals? The former reveals expectation that you're the financier. The psychological reality is that financially exploitative partners avoid independence because dependence gives them access to resources they couldn't access alone. If she developed her own career and income, she'd have less justification for needing your financial support. By maintaining vague career plans while having clear lifestyle expectations, she positions you as necessary provider of the lifestyle she desires but won't work to provide herself. Sign 3. Financial emergencies and temporary help that never ends. This sign involves recurring financial crises that require your help, with each crisis framed as temporary emergency, but the pattern of needing financial rescue never actually ending. She always has some crisis, unexpected expense, overdue bill, financial shortfall, that you're asked to help with just this once. But just this once becomes regular pattern where you're constantly providing financial bailouts for problems that should be her responsibility. Pay attention to whether these emergencies are genuine, unexpected situations or predictable expenses framed as emergencies. Is it truly unexpected car repair, or is it predictable rent she didn't plan for? Is it genuine medical emergency, or is it cosmetic procedure she wants but won't budget for? Real emergencies are rare. Emergencies that happen monthly aren't emergencies. They're regular financial irresponsibilities subsidized by you. Watch whether she takes any steps to prevent future emergencies after you've helped with current ones. After you pay overdue rent, does she budget better going forward? After you cover car repair, does she build emergency fund? Or do the same emergencies keep recurring because she's made no changes since she knows you'll rescue her? Lack of learning reveals she's comfortable with the pattern. Notice whether these temporary helps actually remain temporary. Does she pay you back as promised? Do the emergencies actually resolve? Or have you been temporarily helping for months or years with no end in sight and no repayment? Temporary that becomes permanent reveals the temporary framing was manipulation. Check whether she manages money responsibly in areas she prioritizes. Does she somehow always have money for social activities, appearance, and lifestyle, but never for responsibilities? This selective financial capacity reveals that money management isn't her problem, her priorities are, and you're enabling them by covering her responsibilities. Watch whether she creates false urgency to pressure you into helping. Does she wait until the last possible moment to mention overdue bills, creating crisis that requires immediate action from you? Is there always dramatic urgency that prevents you from thinking critically about whether you should help? Manufactured urgency is manipulation tactic. Listen to whether she shows any concern for the financial burden she's placing on you. Does she acknowledge that her problems are becoming your problems? Does she worry about exhausting your generosity? Or does she seem to assume your financial resources are available for her needs without consideration of your own financial goals and constraints? The psychological reality is that adults are responsible for their own finances. Occasional genuine emergency where partner helps is normal, but constant pattern of financial crises requiring your rescue isn't unfortunate circumstances. It's evidence that she's not managing her finances because she doesn't have to. You're her financial safety net, which enables ongoing irresponsibility. She's not dating you despite needing financial help. She's dating you specifically for the financial help. Sign 4. She upgrades her lifestyle. While downgrading her financial contribution, this pattern exposes lifestyle inflation through your wallet. Her standard of living rises sharply once you're together, but her financial contribution doesn't. She dresses better, upgrades her skincare, books spa appointments, and posts luxury experiences, all without earning more. The math only works because you're quietly covering the basics that free her income for indulgence. You'll see it in the imbalance of priorities. She claims she's broke when asked to split a bill, but somehow always has money for nails, clothes, or weekend getaways with friends. Essentials are your responsibility. Self-care is hers. Every dollar you spend on shared life lets her redirect hers toward vanity spending. When questioned, she reframes consumption as necessity. This is self-care. I have to look presentable for work. It's an investment in myself. Yet she calls it petty when you suggest balance or fairness. Her contributions quietly shrink over time as your willingness to pay grows. If gratitude fades and entitlement replaces it, if she treats your funding as the baseline rather than a gift, exploitation has become the relationship's financial structure. The psychology is resource reallocation disguised as love. She upgrades her life by transferring responsibility for bills, rent, and daily costs to you, while her own money fuels visible luxuries. It's not partnership, it's sponsorship. A genuine partner would adjust lifestyle to her means or find ways to share costs. A user is perfectly comfortable improving her comfort at your expense. Because the goal isn't building a future, it's living better now on someone else's budget. Sign 5. She's strategic about relationship progression tied to financial milestones. This pattern reveals financially motivated relationship escalation, pushing commitment milestones, not for love, but for access. She frames moving in, engagement, or marriage as proof of affection, but the timing always aligns with her financial convenience. You'll notice the pattern in strategic timing. She wants to move in when her rent spikes, talks marriage after your promotion, or becomes suddenly ready for forever when she faces financial pressure. Each milestone increases her access to your money while lowering her own obligations. Her arguments sound practical. We'll save money. It's the logical next step. We're already together all the time. But those benefits flow mainly one way, into her pocket. She romanticizes convenience, not connection. When you discuss protecting your finances, her reaction reveals everything. Suggest a prenuptial agreement or separate accounts, and she's offended. You don't trust me. Yet she eagerly supports any plan that gives her immediate financial access. She may emphasize shared expenses, but not equal contribution, combined resources, but not transparency, security, but only for herself. Emotional depth takes a back seat to material gains. The house, the lifestyle, the teamwork that quietly means your money funding, her comfort. The psychology is commitment as leverage, using love language to formalize financial dependency. Relationship milestones become contracts of access, not symbols of intimacy. Long-term, this leads to emotional obligation tied to financial control. You feel guilty for protecting your resources, and she equates boundaries with lack of love. Genuine partners want commitment rooted in connection and fairness. Opportunistic ones want signatures that guarantee funding. If every relationship leap coincides with her financial relief or your financial rise, it's not romance, it's acquisition. Sign 6. She has no problem spending your money, but guards her own. This pattern shows financial asymmetry and entitlement. She's generous only with your money. When you pay, her tastes are luxurious. When it's her turn, she suddenly becomes frugal. She spends freely from your wallet, but guards her own like a vault, revealing that your resources are for her use, while hers are for herself. You'll see it in small, consistent ways: expensive restaurants, designer items, lavish activities, all fine when you're covering the cost. But when you suggest splitting or alternating, she invents budget problems or pushes for cheaper alternatives. Her generosity disappears the moment payment might come from her account. If she does contribute, it's often performative. A token gesture followed by weeks of expectation that you make it up to her. When questioned, she justifies the imbalance with selective traditionalism. Men should provide. You make more. Or, that's how love works. Yet the same woman invoking gender roles rarely embraces traditional reciprocity like gratitude, domestic contribution, or emotional support. Her spending patterns expose intent. Your money funds shared luxuries and her lifestyle. Her money funds herself. She'll claim to be saving or tight right now, but those savings rarely benefit the relationship. They protect her independence while deepening your financial dependence. The psychology is resource extraction under moral disguise. By framing your payments as proof of love, she converts generosity into obligation. When you set boundaries, she shifts from charm to guilt, implying stinginess equals lack of affection. Over time, you become the financier, not the partner, appreciated only when paying, resented when budgeting. Genuine relationships seek balance. Exploitative ones thrive on one-way flow. The woman who guards her wallet but drains yours isn't building a partnership. She's managing an investment, and you're the funding source. Sign 7. She threatens relationship problems. When financial support decreases. This pattern reveals financial leverage through emotional blackmail. She ties the stability of the relationship to your spending. When generosity flows, everything feels peaceful. When you set limits or face financial strain, affection turns to conflict. The message is unmistakable. Pay or lose her. You'll notice arguments and relationship problems always surface when money tightens. Decline an expensive plan, and suddenly she's distant. Set a budget, and she questions your commitment. She may never say, "You have to pay to keep me," but every fight translates to that ultimatum. She reframes financial boundaries as emotional betrayal. If you loved her, you'd spend. If you cared, you'd buy. By equating generosity with affection, she makes financial restraint feel like neglect. She often hides money-based frustration behind vague complaints. "We're not connecting. You've changed," but conflict patterns reveal the real cause. When you restore the financial flow, tension vanishes. The love returns instantly. That cycle exposes the manipulation. It's not love that fluctuates, it's the benefits. The psychology is conditioning through threat and relief. She manufactures insecurity when you pull back and restores affection when you comply, training you to equate financial giving with emotional safety. Long term, you live in quiet fear, not of losing her affection, but of triggering her withdrawal by protecting your finances. Genuine partners adapt and collaborate during hard times. Manipulative ones weaponize scarcity to remind you that love has a price tag.